What's happening, everybody? So you've undoubtedly heard of the Chupacabra and the Jersey Devil and the Pine Barrens, the Mothman of Point Pleasant, the skunk apes in Florida, the Rougarous down in South Louisiana. The list of mysterious creatures goes on and on. Terrifying to some and fascinating to others, the study of cryptozoology is a real thing, and it's the focus of a lot of ongoing investigations. It's almost as if you can't turn on the TV without another alien adventure show or capturing Bigfoot show jumping down your throat. But the residents of Kirtland and Chardon, Ohio don't have to look too far for their very own mysterious legends. Today we're heading back to Northeast Ohio to the Chardon and Kirtland area to investigate the Melon Heads. This is Oddity Acres.
And now to a special and spooky 3 News Halloween investigation into a Northeast Ohio urban legend about a group of creatures that still go bump in the night should you find yourself in Lake County.
3 News investigator Rachel Polanski went searching for the Melon Heads.
Sometime in the 1970s, or so they say, when strange creatures with abnormally large, bald heads are said to have roamed the woods of Northeast Ohio. And legend has it, they're still lurking today.
We are in Kirtland, Ohio, and down in the deep, deep woods off of Weisner Road.
That's Amy Capostasi with the Lake County Historical Society. We enlisted her help to share the story of the Melon Heads.
They could be dangerous if they wanted to be.
So there's a few stories about how the Melon Heads came to light, and one of which having to do with government experimentations. They said there was a facility or cabin or warehouse out there in the woods in the Kirtland and Chardon area, and they were bringing these subjects out there and doing all sorts of crazy tests on them. And one of the backfires of the experiments was that their heads were growing to enormous sizes. So the other of which revolves around the more notable Dr. Crow, who was a mad scientist of types. And apparently he had kidnapped or acquired these children from a mental hospital that he had worked at and brought them out to his cabin near Weisner Road in Kirtland. And that's where he would perform his own experimentations on them. And it's said that these children went crazy and they revolted and they ended up burning down the cabin, killing Dr. Crow. And they said that these children had nowhere to go. They were shunned by the outside world. And so now they dwell in these woods near Kirtland and Chardon. And that's where they will live on wildlife and unfortunate passerbys who decide to take the wrong road. So as the story goes, Melon Heads are now more commonly spotted near Weisner Road and also in Center Chardon Cemetery, which I guess is one of the locations that it's said that Dr. Crow is buried. Numerous stories of drivers going down that road and down that area have reported seeing these creatures peering from the sides of the road with sharp teeth and glowing eyes. So right now we are going to the locations where these sightings are happening. We're going to check it out. We're going to see what there is to see if there's any sort of truth in this story. And then later on, we are going back at night. We are going to explore Weisner Road and see if we can catch a melon head ourselves. Join us. We'll see you when we get there. All right, so we are in Center Chardon Cemetery, and this is where a lot of sightings have been said had taken place, especially in and around the cemetery, which makes a lot of sense now that I've been here because this is the huge wooded area where they said that they're supposed to be residing. And this is a really old cemetery. Just walking around the cemetery, you can definitely see where local legend and lores would surround this place because it's got that very eerie feeling. You know, it's got the old gravestones, it's got the trees, and if I was a melon head, this would be a great place for me to hang out. I've done quite a few little laps around this cemetery, and I have not seen a Dr. Crow yet. However, I do hear a crow, which is very ironic. There's no graves over there, so very ironic. So, especially in a graveyard, go figure. You hear crows and all that stuff, but I'm going to keep looking for a little bit, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to confirm of a Dr. Crow. So even though I was unable to find a Dr. Crow in this cemetery, I was able to do some research and found that there was indeed a Dr. Crow in the 1940s. All it said was that he was a dentist. Obviously, there was no sort of connection to the Melon Heads or any sort of fire or experimentation, but I guess that's how legend goes. So this is basically as far as you can get down Weisner Road. There's a roadblock right here. A lot of the stuff out this way is kind of like horse trails, but there is a lot of woods, and there is this river that runs straight through. So, definitely a kind of like a spookier place. Reminds me of Helltown, but not quite. This is a little bit more residential, obviously, than that. But this is the famous Weisner Road, where the infamous Melon Heads lurk behind every corner. Now, I'm sure when it's darker, it takes on a whole new feel. So that's why I want to come back when it gets dark, so we actually get the real deal and the real opportunity to experience what all these stories have been saying. But I wanted to also take you here in the daytime because obviously the camera footage at night's not going to be that great. So I want to be able to kind of see this and map it out before we kind of get in here when it gets dark. So as I said, this is the famous Weisner Road. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in Kirtland, Ohio. As promised, we are headed back to Weisner Road. The sun is setting. We're looking to be about 20 minutes out from sunset. So we're still about 10 minutes away from Weisner Road, so we will see when we get there. You going to find some melon heads?
Uh-huh.
What are we going to do if we find melon heads?
I don't know. Run?
I would have to say run, yeah. I don't know. I don't want any part of it. I don't know if we could pick a better night to find melon heads, especially with it being so dark and foggy right now.
It's so spooky.
It is extra spooky. Very Oddity Acres-esque. All right, so we are back at the road closed sign where we stopped a little bit earlier during the daylight. So we are back at nighttime. Sunset is now, basically. It says it's 5:17, so it should have been set 3 minutes ago. So we're going to keep going down the road. We're going to see what we can see and go from there, and at least give you the tour of Weisner Road, the ever-famous Melon Head Road at nighttime. Should we just pull over and see if we can find something, or maybe something comes past us?
Totally.
well, it might be a bust on the Melon Heads tonight, but at least we got everybody out here on the famous Weisner Road, and we looked for some Melon Heads. So it's up to you guys. Is it real? Is it fake? Do your research and come on out here on a dark, foggy night like we did. See if you can find some. Till next time, see you on Oddity Acres. Stay scared.